Fine. So there's a isser to wash laundry during Chol Hamoed. The isser is the reason for the isser is not just because we wanted that you shouldn't be busy during Chol Hamoed. The isser is because in order that people shouldn't delay and push off their need to wash laundry until Chol Hamoed, and they'll come into Yom Tov looking dirty, and we're having dirty clothes and not being clean. Therefore, they made a gzeira that you can't do laundry, get haircuts during Chol Hamoed. You have to do everything beforehand, so you will be clean when Yom Tov comes in. So
I thought the gzeira was the fact by haircuts and things was that you shouldn't come to rely that I'll do it on Chol Hamoed.
And therefore, he'll end up being dirty when Yom Tov comes in.
Not having had a haircut is dirty. I mean, but the point of why let's mess with a haircut specifically was that you shouldn't come to rely on doing things on Chol Hamoed. That's why. Or cutting the nail, the muscle of nail cutting, right? If you cut before, then you're allowed to cut.
But what's the issue of cutting during? Why are they worried that you're going to rely on cutting it during Chol Hamoed? What's the big issue? What's the big deal if you do?
What? No, you haven't done thinking.
And what's the issue of someone relying on doing it during Chol Hamoed? What's the big deal? So the issue with doing that is because they want that you should be clean and you should be Yom Tov right when Yom Tov comes in.
But that doesn't. Again, cutting the nails.
You shouldn't be dirty. You shouldn't come with long hair, long nails, dirty clothes. You should look fresh and clean when Yom Tov comes in. So therefore, the Chayim say that even nowadays that we have that washing laundry is a lot easier. We have washing machines you have to do it by hand. It's still a problem of doing laundry because the main problem is not that you're going to be busy. We're worried that you're going to be busy working. Is that we wanted you to come into Yom Tov when you're clean and all ready.
So if that's the whole thing,
that's coming into Yom Tov.
Then
yeah.
If that's the whole thing, then if you did 20 loads of laundry Erev Yom Tov, should be allowed to do laundry on Chol Hamoed.
Oh, so we're going to see certain types of clothes, which even if you approve, so we're going to.
If that's the issue.
Yeah, so there's a few. So what are the hetadim? So there's two hetadim which are brought down in Shulchan Aruch when you can do laundry. Is someone who was in a situation where it was not possible, it wasn't physically possible for him to do laundry before Yom Tov. He was in prison, he was out of town, he couldn't do laundry beforehand, so therefore he's allowed to do laundry during Chol Hamoed because he wasn't able to do it earlier. And the second reason that's brought down is for in certain cases where even if he did laundry beforehand, it wouldn't have helped anything because these types of clothes, kids' clothes, they go so quickly that it doesn't help.
But
they get dirty so
shirts,
quickly.
You only have X amount of white shirts. You're not going to buy 3 dozen white shirts to carry you through Chol Hamoed.
But you have 5 shirts. Be careful. Take care of them.
5 shirts is not enough to carry you through Chol Hamoed.
Take care of them. You'll have to wear one for 2 days.
Some people can't wear the same shirt the next day. They got to change it.
Oh, so okay. The place in Kamwad is someone a very very sweaty person. He can't go through. He goes through clothing a lot quicker. So that'll come up later. Well, let's read the Shulchan Aruch in the first Maramakim. Shulchan Aruch says, "Ein mechabsin b'mayid." You cannot allowed to wash laundry during Chol Hamoed. The Eilish mechabsin b'mayid. These are the people I could. These are the ones that I couldn't. Habami Medinas Hayam. Someone who came from a different country. Who went out of prison from a different country. We base Asurin, or he came out of prison from a closer, from a in-town prison. And someone who was in Chayrim, which the din is he's not allowed to wash his clothes and take haircuts. And they're only matter him took off the Chayrim now. During Chol Hamoed, someone who made a neder that he's not going to do laundry for whatever reason, and during Chol Hamoed, he went to the basin. They were not to the neder, so he's only able to do laundry now. So all these people never had a chance to do it earlier. They're allowed to do laundry during Chol Hamoed. So that's one category of people. Then the next paragraph is another category. Hand towels, which apparently they used by meals, and they would have to wash them every day. They would get dirty very quickly. It wasn't like the kitchen towels we have. So that you could wash.
You're adding over here.
Okay, that's what the Magen Avraham says. So Mitzvah Chas Hayadayim says towels
What's the
Mitbachas hasaporim, and towels for a barber. Towels by the barbers. They would give a towel for the person coming to get a haircut, and they would have to change them constantly after each person. So it wouldn't help. So all these things, it wouldn't help if you washed it before Chol Hamoed. Oh, so right. So the Gemara says talking about barbers who were giving haircuts to all these people. How you mentioned before, the people who were allowed to get haircuts, they came from out of town. They had
so many.
I don't know.
There's a lot of prisoners.
Wait a second. So he's allowed to give haircuts to somebody who come from Eretz Yisrael and Chol Hamoed.
If somebody arrives, if somebody
Yeah,
arrives,
but those times, not these times.
Why?
It's a day. They could have gotten it 2 days ago.
What
This is such a long.
Come on, they give the whole concept
Give him a break,
of
give
not
him a
doing,
break.
of not washing, not taking
Give him a break,
haircuts.
no?
Only
Okay, so fine. So mitbachas hasfag, and these towels they had they use in the bathhouses to absorb. I'm not sure it was a regular towel. They used that to dry themselves off after the showers. So also they had to change them very often. Big day tanim, kids' clothes, they get them very dirty, and even if you wash it before Yom Tov, it's not going to help you. You're going to have to do another load.
Sometimes they're on clothes also.
And the lady who she had a kesem during Chol Hamoed, so she that's something you can't be careful about. You can't prevent it. It just happens. And also it's fine. Also based on this, or also make someone who needs to do hefsek tara on zayin nikim. They need to wash their white clothes, so we're also making for them to do that during Chol Hamoed. Someone who also only has one shirt, so even though he washed it before Chol Hamoed, he's still going to have to wash it again. To him, we're also making to wash that he could do his laundry during Chol Hamoed. So.
Those times they only had one shirt.
So based.
Even if you have 5 shirts,
So Shmir Shabbos Kilchus, he writes based on the Hatayim is saying over here that for the towels and for people taking showers, he says also done by mikvahs. They give out towels and they have to do laundry. They have to do laundry.
towels, it's not considered a lot.
They have to wash the towels every day. It's something that so even it doesn't help to wash everything before Yom Tov. So he wants to say. So he says it's better to do it through a guy. He says, but if you can't do it through a guy, he says he could be makel, and he gives 2 other reasons. And besides for the reason that it's like children's clothes or like these towels that you change very quickly, he also gives another 2 reasons to be mater. One is that it's tzorchei rabin. Because it's a tzorchei the rabbin, he says that's also a reason to be makel. Like this, he wants to say also someone has a achnas tzorchim house, and it's a tishrei. Someone has in his basement. He has people archim are coming in every day, and in between each person, you need to change the sheets. So it's not possible to prepare enough sheets for everyone. They go so quickly, and each time someone else comes, you have to change this. So you want to say in such a case, you can also, if you need 2 new clean sheets for a new person coming in, you can also be makel and wash it because it's tzorchei rabin. Fine.
Why using the word makel? That means it's not a chafila.
Meaning makel because it's not a heter it's written in Shulchan Aruch. And so fine. So that's our what other cases which place are makel is there's machlekes between Moshe Feinstein and Ber Moshe Stern about what we said he can wash children's clothes. Well, they argue what if the kid has more clothes, but the nice Yom Tov outfit is dirty. Your wife's favorite Yom Tov outfit is dirty. It's not going to be matching, and she wants to make sure she has a nice one.
That's when you rely on Tzvi's.
So Moshe Feinstein, so there's some, I'm not sure this, there's some English sefer, Hilchos Chol Hamoed, which in the back apparently they have a bunch of psukim from Moshe Feinstein and the Ber Moshe. So there they argue about it. Moshe Feinstein wants to say it's okay, since you don't have the nice Shabbos outfit that you want, it's okay to wash it for the kids. And Ber Moshe will say, he says no, it's also he's machmir. He says you have other clothes, you can put other clothes on him. So that's what they argue about. Another Shmir Shams Hilchsa also writes to be makel with socks and tights. He says socks and tights he considers it similar to children's clothes, that they get dirty very quickly. You have to change them every day, and therefore he says that you can also that's also okay to wash during Chol Hamoed. Fine. So these are these are all the things included in the two categories we said of things that you could be makel to wash in Chol Hamoed. Someone who didn't have a chance to wash them before Chol Hamoed, like he was out of town, and it's not things which doesn't help to wash them beforehand. And there's also a third way that we're makel for people to wash clothes that they have is if it got very dirty, which isn't brought down here but it's brought down other places, is that if it got very dirty in a way that if you don't wash it now the stain isn't going to come out. If you got some stains or some materials, if you don't spray a liquid on there, try to rub it out while it's still fresh.
If spilled on my shirt and I'm not washing it in the washing machine just to make sure that's okay, it's not a problem.
You're talking about spot cleaning. You're talking about.
Wait a minute. On Shabbos, they call that cleaning, right? On Shabbos. You do that on Shabbos. On Shabbos, you like clean it? No, I'm telling you. On Shabbos, call that cleaning? So it's called cleaning. So it's called cleaning. Now we're talking about now Shabbos.
The Marsham.
The people were afraid that they're going to desecrate the whole thing. But we're talking about a little stain.
The Marsham says that also just making something wet, just like on Shabbos we say Shiyasi Zeokibuse, it's machlikas, whether just making something wet is considered washing or is it just scrubbing it and squeezing it as well. Right. So he says he says to be machmir on Chol Hamoed that also just making something wet is also considered washing.
Machmir, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the Marsham. And saying we're going to see later a lot of most places are makel.
The rabbis argue, so everybody can take whatever they need to take from it.
And we'll see later. Places say that Moshe Feinstein, other places say that just.
If not, who to ask and if not, how to ask it.
I asked my rabbits.
Okay, we'll see soon. Moshe Feinstein, other places are makel is just spot cleaning. If you're not washing the whole beggar, you're only washing a certain spot. That's not considered washing. It's a certain. It's just a. But over here, but we're talking about. But how do we get into this? We're talking about things which won't come out. In a way, if there's a stain, you need to put the whole thing in the washing machine in order to clean it. It's a big stain. So if it's a stain that if you don't clean it now, it won't come out later. So it's like a davar ha'avid. It's going to be a loss. So Chaim say you could also be in such a ifin you could wash it on Chol Hamoed. Fine. So now the next discussion comes up is we said someone only has. I'm not sure how often this comes up, but someone only has one shirt. We said that he's allowed to wash it during Chol Hamoed because he only has one thing. So Mishnah Berurah is machmir. He brings opinion that says that this heter doesn't apply nowadays. That was only in the time of the Gemara that you had this heter. But what's the reason? So he's going to explain in the second Maramakim. He says v'yesh mina peskim the smack from the Rishonim the Svirulei the calls a dafke bizman haTalmud. This is all dafke in the times of the Gemara. Shahaya nika be'esha pashat chaluki that when they took out their clothes was recognizable. She'ein le'ela chaluk echad. You can tell that this person only has one. How so? Shemitchila hayachiger izuri ala chaluk. Because back then they always had some type of belt on top of their cloak, whatever they were wearing, and whenever you switch your garments, whatever garment they were wearing, they always had that belt on top of it. So therefore, a person only had one beged, and he had to borrow someone else's to go wash his clothes. So he wouldn't put that belt on top of it, because he was only wearing it temporarily. So when people see he wasn't wearing that belt on top, people realize that it's not when they just borrowed it and he only has one garment. So that'll be made. But nowadays it's not the derech to have that belt. So the smack, some of the Rishonim say that the het doesn't apply nowadays. And the Mishnah Berurah brings us down. He says, according to our meaning that we don't have this belt, he says he can't be makel. And he says, he says other garments which get sweaty very quickly, he says that you don't have to be machmir, but other garments you should be machmir. So this is the psak of Mishnah Berurah. The MS, if you look in the Shulchan Aruch doesn't say this, right? Shulchan Aruch just says Misha in le'ela chaluk echad. Someone only has one garment. So the Shulchan Aruch Taka does not paskin like this. Pri Megadim points out that the Pesach of the Shulchan Aruch is that we're not machmir for the latest shita. We go like the Rambam, the Rif, and the Rosh, who don't hold like this Chumrah. The reason the Mishnah Berurah is being machmir is because the Gra is machmir. The Gra over there, so you look in a lot of Achrin, they bring down this Chumrah. That's only has one garment, he can't be Mekel nowadays. But Mikra Adin is the Pesach Shulchan Aruch is that you could be Mekel. So he's being machmir for the shita of the Gra, but but the Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah and the Magen Avraham don't bring up this Chumrah. Fine, that's another Indian. In the third Maramakim, there's another. The Gemara talks about, the Shulchan Aruch talks about, what about washing underclothes, which gets sweaty very quickly. Could he be makel with washing those during Chol Hamoed? Because it's something you change more often than a regular shirt and pants. So could he change that? So the Shulchan Aruch says Mikra Din is mutter, but the minhag is to be machmir. It says in third Maramakim, Kol Kli Pishtan mutter lechamson. So Kli Pishtan. So it's
cotton.
Pishtan is cotton.
It's so all the.
Okay, linen is not cotton.
Same.
So these are the
Linen is more
these are the undergarments they would wear, and they would get sweaty very quickly. So Medina the Gemara it's mutter.
Okay.
However, leinago came. The minhag is not like this. The Shainim say the reason for the minhag is we were machmir for the shita that said it's a problem in the Gemara. But havli dvarim hamatarim v'cheim nagu behem iser and yatar ashin latir mifmeim. So once the minhag came to be machmir for the other shita, even though it's not the ikar halacha doesn't like that shita, so we're machmir and we don't wash on the underclothes.
You hear what it says there in Pinchas?
So this
Shulchan Aruch said it was mutter. The people made it aser, and therefore it's aser. Even though Shulchan Aruch said it was mutter.
Nothing else but to do.
And
it's like these fishes,
so that's but the minute Mishnah Berurah says even though since Me'ikar I
Why
did.
did people make it also?
But because the Rishonim, the minhag started already in the times of the Rishonim, they said because there was an opinion in the Gemara that argued and said it's a problem to wash undergarments. So people the minhag came to be machmir for that opinion, even though the Meikar didn't we task in the Kula, but the minhag came to be machmir. So the Mishnah Berurah brings from the Eli Rabbah that even though we're machmir, being that Meikar adin, it's mutter, medin the Gemara says over here you could be makel to have a guy wash it. You could be makel to give it to bring it to the cleaners to wash. Because even though usually we're machmir Chol Hamoed, everything you can't do yourself, you can't tell a guy to do. Here, since Meikar I didn't. Oh, but he says outside your house. He's not making to do it inside your house.
Okay.
So that's in the fourth Maramakim.
Where minhag is a din.
In the fourth Maramakim, it says Mikol Makim. Kiven the Mishnah Berurah says Kiven the Meikar Hadin Shari.
You didn't bring this concept down outside of the house.
Yeah, I'm reading. Fourth Maramakim, Mikol Makim, Kiven the Meikar Hadin is Spash Shari. Since Meikar Hadin is mutter, he spash the minhag lahakel litein la'akum. The minhag goes and spash it to be makel to give it to a guy. Lichbeis kseines, a pishin the katamans, achas, one of them chutz labais, outside your house. That became the minhag. The afagav the koma she'osser gamkin alidei nacher. Even though everything is also through a guy. The komakim bezemi killing. This we're going to be makel. So the makar is from the Eli Rabbah, from the Prisha, and also in the Chai Adam brings it down. So there is a makel for undergarments. You could be makel to give it to cleaners, to give it to a guy to wash for you outside your house. So that's four. That's one Indian. Another Indian that comes up is we said before, right? So Shmir Shams Kilsa wrote that socks you could be makel for because it's something that you change every day. It's something that you need to change very often. So therefore, you could be makel to wash it. So he brings up the question. So where do you draw the line? Different people, it's different things. Some people change their underclothes every day. Some people change.
I hope most people change their underclothes every day.
So saying, people change their shirts, their pants every day. How do you draw the line? So he says he's not sure. Does it go what the minhag?
Once a month, whether I need to or not.
So he says how do you?
Once a week should be sufficient.
You have your
See. So he says how? So he says how do you?
That's what he's saying is turn them inside out.
He says how do you decide? So he's not sure. Does it go on like what people do? Does it go according to what the place Minhag Medina? Fifth Maramakim says Vishla Ayman Nika Ragel Achlifam. What's considered common to change every day? Sheyehi Mutar Lechabs. Him is a tali ba'adam haprati shalei ayulai neilech v'zel afi Minhag Medina. So he's not sure how do you go. Someone that changes, he needs to change his shirt and his pants every day. He's not sure. But in the Shevet HaLevi, someone asked him, "What about a person who lives in a very hot place and he needs to change his clothes very often? Could he be makel for him?" So he says he's not so quick to be makel. In the 6th Maramakim, he writes.
Who's Shevet Levi again?
Vosner. Where is Yisrael?
You're talking about like places like Florida. You walk outside, even after a shower, and all of a sudden you're schwitzed up. You can't change it right away.
He doesn't want to be. He said he doesn't want to be makel. He doesn't want to make until the person starts getting really bothered by him and it really starts getting to him. He doesn't want to make it a heter gomer. In the 6th Maramakim, he says, this that you asked, being in kibbutz b'chol hamoed, washing laundry during chol b'misha machliv hachutza, he needs to change it every day. I still have never gave a straight out heter for this. Lamaisa, akzi to do the funny business. Just use that as a sniff. They were mitzadeh. They brought up this svara. Afal ikar shlei hakal bazen. Asher magish nifgam regesh istanis until he feels a little grossed out by it. Binikoyim bezeh from the machmas levishes kam b'yamim. And he feels a little dirty because he's wearing it for many days. Yeah, he's not going into Barichus. He writes Bekitzer. So he says he doesn't want to be makel, even someone who usually changes it every day. He doesn't want to be makel until the person starts really bothering the person. And he gets yeah. Well, he says he first one makes up for you see.
Change every day, I'm in trouble.
So he says whatever he wants to say. He doesn't want to be makel changing shirts, and even someone normally changes it.
You change your clothing every single day? We have to know. Take a survey. Everybody in shul, you put it on the act.
So,
what is the
bottom
line?
There's in the Sefer Chut Shani from Nissen Karelitz. He's a nephew of the Chazon Ish. So he's a bit more makel with the shaila. In the 7th Maramakim, he writes, Kamel Mashal. He says, what's the reason? The reason we're machmir, they can't wash your shirts and your pants, is because if you wash it before Yom Tif, and it'll be enough for the whole Yom Tif. You don't need to wash it that often. He says, but for a person who doesn't work like that, and it doesn't help if you wash right before Yom Tif, so he says, you could be makel. He says, Kamel Mashal. Adam shemazia harbe, someone who sweats a lot. It's mutalei lechabes b'mayid. If once he runs out of clothes, he doesn't have what to wear. He could wash it. Shali afim yachin is kol v'godav kodim hamayid yaspikuli. It's not gonna be enough for him. Beis godim yaspikuli. Kamei b'gemara the Airi. It's not the same case as in the Gemara the Airi where they're talking about shezem maspikli sheyachlu leivsham afsheinim nekim. The Gemara talks about that even though you wore for one day, you can still wear for 2 more days. But a person who his body doesn't work like that, he needs to change it more often, and he can't wear it for 3-4 days. So he says he wants to say he could be mekel. So Vosner is machmir. He's Shevet HaLevi is more machmet hashayla. He doesn't want to be makel until the person really gets grossed down. And Shani is a bit more makel. So Lisa asks Yerov. They argue about the shayla. And so that's one part of the discussion. The next part of the discussion is in what about spot cleaning? Spot cleaning. So if you only have a stain on a certain part of the beged, so
Moshe be a problem anyways.
So Moshe Feinstein and Shmir Shams Kilchasa both want to say that that's okay for different reasons. That it's okay to spot cleaning. Farkash and say for Chol Kilchasa he wants to be machmir, but a lot of the big poskim say you could be mekel, and that's in the 8th Maramakim. Igros Meishi writes, "Hine begesh nislachlich ksas b'mayid." It became a little bit dirty during Chol Hamoed. Mutar l'chabes rakes makim halichloch. To wash just the spot that became dirty, you're allowed to wash it. K'tei lahaviyos hakesim, in order to get rid of the stain. She'in ze nechshav kibus l'inin Chol Hamoed. In regards to Chol Hamoed, this is not considered washing. Washing is you wash the whole beged. Just spot cleaning is not considered washing during Chol Hamoed. This is what Moshe Feinstein writes, and in the 9th Maramakim, Shmir Shams Kilchasa from Newport, he also wants to be makel for a different reason. He says we make up for things that stains that get dirty each day, every day, and you can't avoid. We're making with. So too stains happen every day. You could stop the whole beggar from getting dirty. You can't stop stains from happening. He writes in the 9th Maramakim, the kivon the motzei tell me shemislachlech the kesem. Since it's very common that you get stains, you can't avoid it. It's similar to these hand towels, which you're allowed to wash because they get dirty every day. And siman tavkuf amidal is sefalef. Ba'af teshamach midin. Hainim davar shein motzei lahachlif rak mizman lazman. That's because nowadays the derech is not to change these towels every day. Whereas a kesem shu motzei, kesem, which is motzei, he says it happens all the time. Therefore, you could be makel to wash them. So, chutz ba'avra a vazner and Karel Nissen Karelitz and chutz shoni and also Farkash and Sefer Chol Mekilchasa. He's not so sure about this heter. He wants to be machmir, but on the other hand, Moshe Feinstein and also Vazner and Menashe Klein, there are a lot of big places where makel with washing just stains. So one last thing we need to discuss is about washing. How many clothes could you wash at a time when you need to wash them on Chol Hamoed? So in Shulchan Aruch it says that even though we let you wash kids' clothes, and let's say you're going to need to wash at least another 4 more pairs of clothes for the next 4 days, but the Shulchan Aruch says that you should only wash for whatever you need for that day.
For that day?
Yeah, well, whatever you need for now. You wash for, even though you know next day you're going to have to wash it again, but right now you can only wash for what you need now. You can't wash for what you're going to need on the second day of Chol Hamoed and the third day. So even
though it's dirty already.
Even though it's dirty already and you're all out of clothes, so you say today you're only matter to wash what you need for now. So this is the halach that Ramah says. However, the Achreinin in Minchas Yitzchak and Shmir Shams Kilso, the Achreinin they paskin that nowadays that's dafka back then where they had to wash everything by hand. So each veged you have to wash this veged now and then you're gonna have to wash another one.
Wash together.
You wouldn't wash it all together. You had to wash them all at a time. They would do it by hand. So that's when they said wash one day at a time. But nowadays, how we make one big load, you put everything in all at the same time, and it's a lot easier. So there's no difference if you're washing one shirt or if you're washing 10 shirts. So you say nowadays it's not a problem. You can put all the shirts that you need for Chol Hamoed, only for Chol Hamoed. You can put them all in for whatever you're going to need for the rest of Chol Hamoed for your kids. So read it and says that Ramon in the 10th Maramakim. He says, "Mihu lo yechabsei rak hatzarich lehen." You should only write for what you need for that day. The hainu chavak echad, only one. Mihu big day ktanim b'yeser. He says, "Gotten very small kids. The hainu esim shemlachim behem umashtinim umaitzin ri b'hem, like the diapers that they soil." You cover those, you can wash a bunch of them at one time. For one day you need a lot of them. But other clothes, the Ramah says, you can only wash whatever you need for that day. So then the Minchas Yitzchak in the 11th Maramakim, he writes to be Mekel. He says, this that you wrote to me that Talmidei Chacham were arguing on Chol Hamoed Pesach, the cost of Ramah. This that Ramah says the big tanim b'yeser mutar lechabed dal v'hei pamachas. He says that for a diaper stuff like that you can only wash whatever you need for that day, 4 or 5. You can't wash anymore. If you have a washing machine, if in a washing machine you also need to be machmir to only wash what you need for today and not for the next day. Do you say keeping the high tircha achas, since it's only one action you're doing, it doesn't take any more time to wash more. You're allowed to add in more. The it's one tircha, and there's not a problem being marbe b'shir on Chol Hamoed. He says, he says if you add in all the clothes before you turn on the electricity, then it's okay. You could add in what you need for the rest of Chol Hamoed. You don't need to just wash what you have for that day. And he says, because over here, with only Isser doing more than one at a time, is because you're doing matriach yourself by doing riv v'shurin. Therefore, in this case, in Chol Hamoed, when you're saving yourself the tircha, there's no tircha by these machines.
Okay. So there's no tircha of washing it, but there's a tircha of gathering it together. That tircha he's not worried about. what he said over there. Rak tircha b'riba
When you gather it together, you put it in the laundry basket.
You're still separating whites and colors. What's this over here? What's this over here?
Because I skipped that, he had the whole discussion there about the Isser Ribi B'Shiurin. Is it Isser Deraisa on Shabbos, on Yom Tov?
What's the tircha of Ribi B'Shiurin?
He's talking
that means
he's talking about the Isser, not the Tircha. There's the Isser Ribi B'Shiurim, and then there's also the issue of Tircha. So both of them are two different issues he was addressing over there.
When I say